let's talk about the two woo fear and how it's costing you everything. Because your power is not too much, it's ancient, it's divine, it's been feared, it's been erased on purpose. And so, Diva, this is not going to be just another episode. It is a remembering, it is a rupture in the illusion, it is a return because we need to talk about this being too much. About being too divine for systems that were built to contain you. And so let's get this straight. You're never too woo. You are not too weird. You're not like you're just not falling in line with the system. You are too powerful to keep pretending you are not. So what is woo anyway? You know I love woo and the do, but what is woo? Let's decode it because it's been distorted on purpose. You have been made to question your downloads, the random insights that aren't random at all, but it's your source channel coming online. It's things that you know, but no one has ever told you, and you feel the need to have to justify it because you didn't go to school for it. Everything that I've created has never come through a book. I don't read books. I tap in, and then people are like, oh, that was in this book or that was in that book. And I'm like, well, I didn't read it. Because I keep my channel clean and I love to know that this is pure coming through me. And we've been too often taught that we need to read this book or learn from this person or learn this or learn that. And often what that does is take away your knowledge and your ability to hear from your channel. And don't get me wrong, reading and books, I mean, those things are great. But if you can read it with discernment, what does this mean for me? What is this coming through me? But too often we've been taught to get a certification here, do this, do that. And then it takes you out of your power to remember that you've been placed here with your own remembrance, with your own divine team, your own ancestors, your own higher council, the invisible ones who never left you. Your own source energy that's speaking through you, your own gifts, your own knowing, your own feelings, your own seeing, your own hearing, your own vibrating, your own living technology, your own light language, the sound of the soul remembering itself, bypassing knowledge, speaking directly to DNA. All of this can be called weird, unprofessional, unstable, fringe. But let me tell you the truth. These aren't gifts, they're original technologies. And they've been feared because they can't be colonized. That fear isn't yours. It's ancestral. That fear about going too far, it's not a mindset, it's a memory. It's a blood memory, an ancestral memory, a collective spiritual trauma. Let's remember the Spanish Inquisition tortured mystics, dreamers, midwives. They called it heresy to hear God directly. You could only hear it through a man, according to them. The Crusades erased entire indigenous civilizations who danced and sang and drummed and dreamed and were in communion with Source directly, in connection with nature powerfully, erased them. The burning times weren't about quote unquote witches. It was about women who were in their power. It was about ending a lineage of intuitive leadership through fear. Colonization labeled direct connection with spirit savage and replaced your ancient wisdom with pulpits, punishments, and pages that told you God was outside of you, that you were broken, and that you needed permission to be divine. So what happened? You didn't stop hearing God. You just stopped trusting that what you were hearing was safe to speak. And there's ongoing system erasure. Even now, women are apologizing for channeling. Creators delete like language videos after posting. Healers still call themselves coaches just to seem legit. Spiritual women are told, don't get too mystical or you'll lose your audience. Melanated women are told that that they're weird. They've lost God. Women in general are being called witches again. Take it, take that label and own it, honey. Schools, actual schools, are banning intuitive expression, breath work, sound, even spiritual dance. Erasure evolved too. It went from fire to feedback, from whips to algorithms suppressing the knowledge, from prisons to platforms. So many of you are still performing professionalism to avoid being dismissed. And here's the truth: you were never meant to be palatable, you were here to be prophetic. Let that land. And playing small is costing you. Every time you rephrase a spiritual truth to make it digestible, every time you water down your power to stay brand safe, every time you silence your frequency to be more strategic, you're not protecting your audience, you're protecting the program that has kept you hidden. Playing small is not humility. It's a spiritual disconnection wearing a business plan. And it's costing you everything: your overflow, your renaissance, your reach, your true people, the ones waiting to be activated by what you haven't posted yet. And full power is not screaming louder. It's about anchoring in the power. It's about knowing that your frequency speaks first. It looks like knowing that you're not going off brand, you're going all in on who you came to be, letting your voice sound like the dimensions you came from, naming God, source, guides without filtering it for Instagram, channeling from your body without apology, speaking light language mid-transmission and not explaining it. You are not too much. You are just remembering how deep your soul actually goes. And that's why I created La Lumière, the light, the divine diva circle. Because so many powerful women are afraid to go all in. They're afraid to speak reality in form because they think they're lying. It's not because they're unready. It's because the world never showed them what it looks like to be received fully and in love and without judgment. In La Lumière, talking to guides is not mystical, it's expected. Channeling is not a trick, it's training. Joy is not a side effect, it's the frequency of your power. Light language is not weird, it's woven in. It is your safe space to be spiritually dangerous. To stop asking if it's too much, to start realizing it was never enough. La Lumière is a daily recalibration portal for women who came here to lead, not through strategy, but through sovereignty. You already know. The return to your frequency has begun. Come home to your God channel. Look, you're not becoming the real you. You're remembering the ancient, divine, multidimensional you that has always existed. The one who used to pray by the river, not a pulpit, who danced codes in the soil, who healed through her presence, not marketing, who didn't need to be believed because she was undeniable. And I know it. I know this episode lit something in your bones and made you go, yes, yes, yes. You were shaking your head and you're like, but what about me? I'm just a copywriter. No, you're just a copywriter. I can flip-flop slap you right now. You're not just a copywriter. You're writing the words from the souls of your clients in ways that they could not have expected but feel so deeply. You're not just a business coach. You are calling forth and creating a space where women can utilize their gifts and create income from it. And you are helping call forth their gifts and show them how to express themselves in ways that they have never expressed themselves before. You're not just a anything. You are whoever you are and whoever you decide to be in this world. Be proud of that. I know you feel it in your bones, you feel it in your heart, you feel it in your soul. So screenshot this episode and tag me on the interwebs at Instagram, I.am the aligned soul, and tell the world I am not too woo, I am source. Keep it bougie, stay healed. Keep it divine, diva, and let your codes be loud. They were never weird. They were meant to be witnessed by every ancestor and every person that has ever walked before you. And so it is.